So here we are, Barry Greenstein. It's been a long time. How are you, Barry?
I guess I'm okay. Seems like things don't change that much for me.
Yeah.
Just playing poker.
So more or less only live poker these days, huh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can't play online.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I will get to play online sometime in 2013, but we'll see.
Where are you now?
I'm now in my hotel room at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas.
And
And
that's the location of the NBC Heads-Up, right?
yeah, I'm here for the NBC Heads-Up. I won my first match, and I liked the matchup. I got to play Ben Lamb, who was an excellent player. And it's funny, I tweeted that I was playing Ben Lamb, and almost every tweet back was, "It's not 2011, so you're fine." Because in 2011, Ben Lamb won everything, and he won every flip, and he just had an incredible rush. Not to say, people always like see someone doing well, and then say that guy's just a great player.
Yeah, I know.
So results oriented, but there's so many good players, and the ones that the public recognizes as great players when it comes to tournaments are the ones who are playing a lot of events, so they can have results, and that happen to win the flips, and the other guy didn't. Now they're the great player, and so I'm not denying Ben is an excellent player, but everything went right for him in 2011, just like Greg Merson, I'm sure, is a great player who won the main event, and won another event. Things had to go right for him.
Yeah.
Well,
It was.
anyways, I like the matchup because I played a lot with Ben online and live. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was quite funny when I met Ben last year, and the health trend with everyone losing so much weight all the time, and everyone is saying, "Oh, I'm feeling stronger at the table. I feel my stamina is better, and I feel better as a poker player." But for him, when he was not fit, he played so much better. He got the results anyway.
You're right. He looked in good shape, but he had a good year. Yeah. Usually in this thing, people ask me who I want to play and who I want to draw. I actually wanted to draw Joseph Chung, who's a good player. Even though I like Joe, that's the only reason I wouldn't have wanted it. I think he's a real nice kid. He knocked me out of the main event. I thought it'd be fun to have a chance to have revenge. Yeah, I already told Joe that. Hopefully we'll meet down the road. But I normally want to play against someone, like if I'm about to play another match, I want the better player to win. Most people are rooting for the weaker player, unless it's like a qualifier where you can be a big favorite. Because against normal players, you're never going to be a huge favorite in this format. So you might as well play the more respected player, so when you win, it looks like you did something.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the first couple of years I played, 2 of the years I had to play women. I played, I think, Jennifer Harmon and Vanessa Russo. I played Vanessa twice now, I think once in the second round. And just because of normal sexism, they think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to win. I'm the man, they're the woman. But when I played Vanessa, I actually did I won all those matches, and I beat Vanessa twice. She outplayed me the first match, and she wasn't even that well known at the time, but I picked up a hand jump at the right time, where I won. So it wasn't like, so that's what I was saying, is like, she could easily beat me, and everyone's saying, boy, you really screwed that up. But everyone who plays a fair amount and is a professional player at this point, in short stack Nolan Hold'em is going to have a decent shot, So I look for the better player to win.
What do you think of the structure? I mean, you have to have a structure like that, I guess, so you'll be able to play throughout the field and so on. But do you think they should change that, or is it okay?
It's a made-for-TV structure. That's the best they can do. They still run late with the structure they have. They have extended as much as they can. My match was one of the last ones. And there was only one longer. That was, surprisingly, Victor Blom, who you would think the match would be over. I remember I told Ben, I'll take Victor Blom's table as being the first all-in, and you can take another table.
Yeah.
He didn't want to, and ended up Victor Blom's table was the last one finishing. So you never know in this thing, the way the hands come up and the jockeying for position and the guy all-in winning, a few times. I mean, Sammy Farha, I think, has the longest match on record against Ted Forrest. And again, Sammy's a bit of a maniac, yet had the longest match. But the all-in winning it in their match. They had a bunch of all-in. But anyway, so I liked playing Ben because I'm familiar with him. I played him online and live. And I would definitely not like playing him if it was heads-up PLO, because I think he's world-class in that.
Definitely.
But we actually, the only time we played heads up before, we played heads up rounds.
Yeah, but I guess you might have a slight edge there, wouldn't you say?
I thought so. We played online, heads up Raz, a pretty, long, like a couple hour session, and I think he beat me. I mean, he claims that he was getting outplayed at the time. Again, he was a little younger, just before his big run. I knew, he was tough. He was a tough heads up player. That's all I can tell you. Someone who's tough heads up is usually going to be tough heads up in almost all games. They learn them at a certain level.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I'm sure in ring game Raz, I'm a favorite over Ben, but heads up was a tough match. I think he came out ahead. We didn't play a freeze out, so that's the history we had. And we played live at the Aria in mixed games, and I'm a better mixed game player than he is. But in No Limit Hold'em, probably if people were going to bet on it, the people who don't know better would have picked Ben because they picked the younger guy over the older guy.
Yeah.
Not knowing no isn't Ben's best game, but just figuring I'm a dinosaur, so favorite. But people who know better would probably think the match is pretty even.
Yeah.
Ben's got going for him. I have stuff going for me. I also had one small thing going. I've played every year, and I'm the only one who's never lost the first round.
Is that right?
Yeah, they've had 7 years. I've won my first match all 7 years. And so now the pressure's mounting. I had to try to do it again the 8th year. What happened is I was surprised. I 3-bet him real light a few times. I imagined that he's going to be winning more pots than I am because he's plays a lot of hands that I don't play.
Yeah.
So I kind of imagined he's going to be winning a lot of small pots. I'm going to have to hope to win a big pot. But actually, I 3-bet him light because he also opens wider than I do, so I can 3-bet him. So like any ace, I got 3-bet him. And he always had to fold because he's probably raising too many hands. So I did get ahead like 28-22 early. He's both 25. Then we got back even, and then we played a key hand. I don't know if you want to hear it if it's too long or boring.
Sure. Go ahead.
A key hand was he raised in for some amount, and I 3-bet to 2,500 with ace king. It was my first good hand. Now the flop comes king 9 deuce. I bet 3,000 on the flop. He called. Now when he calls, it's king 9 deuce diamonds. I had the ace of diamonds, but we're already down to like 40 big blinds at this point, and I would think if he had any flush draw the way he plays, he's just going to move on me.
Yeah.
In normal poker, when you have the ace of diamonds, the ace of the suit, that tells you something because when you're deeper, the guy's only going to commit a lot of chips when he has the nut flush draw.
Yeah.
Short stack, you don't learn as much from having the ace of the suit, but I'm just mentioning it because I had it.
Yeah.
Now the turn comes a 10. And my whole strategy going into this match was I'm going to try to let Ben bet my hands for me.
Yeah.
Because he's aggressive. I don't want to necessarily play an all-in pot without the nuts, but I can pick up a lot of value letting him try to bet me off my hands.
Yeah.
So I checked, and I'm expecting he's going to fire 100% of the time when I check here. But he didn't, which maybe tells you he knows what I was trying to do to him.
Yeah.
He checked behind me, and if he checked to me and it was reversed, which we had things like that, I bet 100% of the time when he checked to me, and he never could call.
Could he have the flush there or something? Did you suspect a ready flush or something?
No, there are only 2 diamonds.
There's 2 diamonds. Okay. Like, would you suspect a monster there? Like,
no, I expected he had second pair, and he doesn't want to go on it, and he's trying to control the pot.
Okay.
But I still thought when I checked him, he's going to bet his pair of 9s.
Yeah.
So I expected. My whole decision is I was, I'm thinking ahead of time. I'm like 98% sure he's going to bet, and I'm trying to decide if it's right for me to check raise or just check call. And I decided it's probably better to check call. I know he's probably going to fire again big on the river, and I'm going to have to fade it. I'm hoping the bets aren't too big, and I check call, and he has a worse king.
Yeah.
If that's the way it goes. Although I thought he might raise with the king even on the flop. But I thought it was more likely he had a 9. So I'm hoping it's not 9-10. He didn't make 2 pair. But it's a big surprise he checked behind me.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it. Now I'm really just saying put up a deuce on the river. I've got the best hand, but a 9 comes. I didn't like a 9 because I thought he might have a 9.
Yeah.
But I thought, is there any chance he has a king and he's trying to like do some, really control the pot? I didn't think so. And I said, could he have maybe had Jack 10 or Queen 10, he hit the 10.
Yeah.
And he's controlling 5 with that. And again, I thought he bet the turn. And I said, he's supposed to have a 9.
Yeah.
Which he now. But I know Ben, and again, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's my terminology. I know Ben's a bit of a monkey.
What do you
so I always have to factor in the monkey hand. You know, he's not going to have ace queen or ace jack because he's probably going to 4-bet me with those hands a lot of the time. But I mean, he could have a small pair, a pair of 4s, and just be trying to like call on the flop and check it down. You know, where I would fold a pair of 4s to a continuation bet, but Ben won't.
Yeah.
And you know, some of these young guys float with ace high and try to control that way. You know, so I'm just saying I gotta put in the monkey factor. Playing against me, I'd be so afraid of 2-9. Although, like I say, I would have bet anything. I'd have bet 100% of my range on the caller in his position. So I said, you got to take in the monkey factor. The part of the monkey factor is it might go check, check.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get to a showdown. So I said, I've got to fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the bet I made. I just did it quick. I grabbed 6,000. And the problem with 6,000 looks too value-ish. That's like the normal amount to bet.
Yeah.
Into this size, when you bet 3,000 the street before. Double is, you know, too normal. And I bet 7,000.
Okay.
And then he's thinking, and of course I said, I hope it's not a think and then move all in.
Yeah.
Or now I got to figure if he's got a 9 or not. But my bet looks such value that he shouldn't, you know, he may not put me on the potential bluff. If he's got one of these monkey hands, he's not going to pay me off. So I really was wishing I'd bet at least 7,000, which is a little more bluffy looking.
Yeah.
But he thought for over a minute, and he called, and you know, once he thinks for over a minute, it doesn't raise. Obviously, I've got the nuts under those circumstances, and I won. So that gave me a 2-1 chip lead.
Did you find out later on what he had? Did you talk to him about it?
I didn't ask him. The only hand I asked him about was we had a hand where I had King 10 of spades, and after I got him down 2-1, I raised in and he moved in.
Yeah.
And it just like he's going to move in on any ace.
Yeah.
And that's like almost the most likely hand he's going to have. And I started thinking, you know, there's no way he's going to have a worse king. I'd be real sick. I call. He's got a king, king, jack.
Yeah.
I don't see him on like a king 8. I said, but ace rag, he's moving in. So I folded. I asked him after the match was over if he had ace rag on that hand, but I folded. I almost called anyway because I thought I'm not that big a dog, and I've got him 2-1 in chips. Maybe I should take a shot with the extra idea that I think he's got ace rag, but he might have Ben Lamb, you know, which is you know, any charge, you know.
Yeah.
But he told me I was right. He had ace rag on the hand. So anyway, so now I folded the king 10. We got back close to even. We had another pot where there was 4 straight on board. I just checked. I flopped top pair in a straight draw. I checked. He checked behind me. I checked the turn. He bet. Actually, I bet the turn he called, which was strange. And then on the 4 to a straight came up 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 9, 10. 3 hearts. And he called me on the turn. I said, oh, well, he might have backdoored a flush draw. But again, Ben's so aggressive, he might even raise me with a flush draw.
Yeah.
And so now on the river, I checked, and he starts counting out a bet. I'm hoping it's not too big. But he bet not that much. And now he bet an amount that he can't have a flush.
Oh, right.
Got to check raise. Best he has is the bottom end of the straight.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Check. So now I think he didn't even have that. I think he like had a pair. And he's trying to get small value, you know, really thin value. So he folded that. That got me up a little bit. And then I was up 26, 24, and then we had the key hand. I had ace 7 of diamonds. I raised in for 2,600 playing 6 and 1,200. So barely a min raise. Because we're short stacked. You know, the shorter stacked you get, the more you get down closer to min raising.
Yeah.
You know, the lower your effective stack is.
You have 20 big blinds each. That's short.
Yeah, we get the big blinds, yeah. So now I just small raise in. He now ships it. So now I go and, you know, I have to think about it because, you know, obviously ace 10 or higher, I'm going to snap call.
Yeah.
Ace 7 is tenuous because he's going to ship all of his aces.
It's borderline because it's not that often that the 7 plays.
Right.
If he would
Exactly.
have an ace deuce, I mean the seven might even don't even count.
Right. The only thing I was hoping, because we had been talking as the match was going, and the way he seemed to be talking, if he had a big pair, he might not chip. Because we had a hand I got away from a hand earlier, where I had a pretty good hand. Thought about it, and he said something like, "If I'd raised less, you'd probably moved in on me." And I just could see the way his thinking is that with a stronger hand like aces, kings, queens, those kinds of hand, or any big pair, he might be raising in for less.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, what are his most likely hands? And I thought his most likely hands are rag ace and good kings.
Yeah. Like king, queen, king, jack, king 10.
To move in for the 20 big blind. So I said, I favored over aces under a 7, maybe as ace 8, which is not that.
It's not that bad. No.
He's got the big ace. I am in bad shape, but it's not the majority of the hands.
No.
And again, it is Ben Lamb, and you have to take that into account. Ben is capable of shipping on things that I myself wouldn't. So I thought over a minute, and I finally just said it's too much hand to fold for 20 big blinds, and I called, and his first. So usually because you're not allowed to turn the hands over, you want to see the guy's reaction when you finally call.
Yeah.
And I got a good reaction. He said, "You're the favorite."
Could he have like 10 jack or something like that?
His first thing he said is, "You're the favorite." So I said, "That's good." Then Oppenheim had just gotten knocked out of his match, came up behind me, asked me to see my hand. I showed him, and he said, "How'd the action go?" I told him I raised, and Ben moved in, and he said, "I know that Ben had already said. I already knew I was the favorite because of what Ben said."
Yeah.
Oppenheim just said, "I lied all." And then this guy Art was sweating Ben, and Art said, "What does he have?" And Oppenheim said A7, and then Ben said, "He doesn't have." Ben barely heard. He said, "He doesn't have a 7, does he?"
Okay, I got it.
He says, "Yeah." So it was even better when he said that.
Yeah.
So now Oppenheim says, "You must have King 7."
King 7, of course.
Ben's had, but we're not turning up. But it ends up Ben had Jack 7 of spades.
Oh my God.
So I can't ask for a better situation. My call, I have a dominating hand. Right away, I saw 2 diamonds come out when the board got spread. 10-9 deuce with 2 diamonds. So now I got him dead to 2 non-diamond jacks and 3 8s. I got him dead to 5 outs on the flop. So I'm in pretty bad shape, and it ran out my way. 2 lows, and so I won. So that was good. My next match is against John Monette, who beat Greg Raymer. He won a couple flips to beat him, actually. And I play with John a lot, like more than 100 sessions.
Yeah.
But this game's not no limit.
He's a mixed player, right?
He's a mixed game player, and I like to say even with Ben. I mean, people will say it's not true. In my mind, I'm a better no limit hold'em player than a Ben Lamb or John Monette. Yeah. Because that's not their specialty, and it used to be mine.
Yeah, I know. You used to be a really good heads-up player, right?
And I'm over the hill now, and I play no limit only at no limit hold'em tournaments. I don't play no limit, so I don't play no limit that much. And the younger players, they do play it more, and that's a lot of them grew up on it. So it's probably I'm fooling myself to say that I'm a favorite over some of these young guys at this point when I only play no limit hold'em 20 times a year.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we'll go on.
But anyway, John's my next match. I play him. I know how he plays, and I guess he probably knows how I play because we played so much together. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Would you say that since you haven't been playing online at all in a long time now, has it hurt your game? Your no limit game anyway.
Well, I'm not playing no limit at all, so I guess it's not helping my game. And in the casino, we play like Badusi and Triple Draw, and I mean it's like a play. Like the other day, I got to play. They put Omaha and Stud in the game. When they put, as long as they put poker games, put normal poker games in, I have a really good record in the mix. But some of these other newer Triple Draw type games, there's just such volatility. Yeah. I mean, you can play with people who look like total idiots, and you can see how bad they play, and it doesn't mean you're going to win. I'm just telling you that there's such variance in these games compared to, at least for me, if I play Stud and Omaha, stuff like that in the game, and Limit Hold'em even, what I consider normal poker games, and they're in the mix, my track record's pretty good.
Yeah. What about the open-faced Chinese? Have you played that any?
Yeah, I have. Actually, I played one session at the PCA. I've only played it 5 times. And first time I fouled my hand almost every time. And I've tried to watch people play, but, I don't know who's good and who's bad. Everybody says someone else is bad and someone else is good. And they're playing it real big. And finally, I just couldn't stand anymore because some people I like to play, there are a few people, and I guess it's not right to name names, but I just assume a game like that that requires thinking, I'm going to think better than they do. And even though I'm not familiar with the game, I just couldn't help myself. And I got in even though it was 200 a point, and I did pretty well. And I actually got shot royal flush in a big hand.
Oh, that's nice.
And so, yeah, I had a big win. Yeah, I ran good. I don't necessarily think I outplayed. Yeah, I very likely was the weakest player in the game, but I ran well enough that I had a good win at the PCA.
Yeah, I mean, this game is since it's so new. I mean, there's not that many that can play it well, but there are also what I saw in San Remo, for example, some really big guys with a lot of money that likes to play it and just fool around and lose a couple of thousand. Doesn't matter, you know what I mean?
That's why you try to learn all these games. There'll be some people who are recreational playing stuff like that. You want to be ready when. That's why you want to learn all the games, whatever they are, because sometimes you're going to have a good spot. And I need to get better. And right now, the only people we know are pretty good are the Finns, actually, because that's where it started. Played it for a few years now.
Yeah.
There's some really Finnish players. Yeah. I'm going to get better. I got the app on my iPad. When I hang up with you, I'm going to play. They have the computer playing it, and it's really bad. I played it yesterday, and it beat me.
Oh my! Okay.
The computer that doesn't play at a very high level. Okay, and so I've got to get better so I can play. And I'm thinking through the game. I'm learning some stuff, and it had a big impact on the start of the NBC Heads-Up. We were delayed for 20 minutes. I don't know if you heard.
I heard something about someone coming late, right?
Yeah. Well, now I know the backstory, and I've got to think what I know a lot. I know the whole story.
Give me all of it. Give me all of it. I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, but the guy's Swedish. I don't want to put everyone down.
Shoot, man. Do you know Victor?
Yeah, I know Victor. Victor will not. Victor won't ever get mad at me.
He's a very nice guy, isn't he?
Very nice guy, but I don't want him to look like who he is. I guess. He's a pretty crazy guy, and he likes to gamble.
But he doesn't. I don't think he mind. He said the other day that I played with Gus and Tom Dwan now, and maybe it's time to learn the game. That's what he said on Twitter. So I don't think he mind.
If you knew what they were playing per point, let me put it this way. Open face plays about twice as big as regular Chinese.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say is there are people who know how big I played Chinese a point. They were playing bigger per point open face than I've played in my life. And I've played really big Chinese, bigger than almost anyone. And they were playing so big. But I'm not going to give you a number. But just let you know, it's huge.
It's huge.
It's in line with the Macau game. Let's put it that way, okay?
Oh, my God. Is it that big?
Okay, so anyway, they're playing huge open face. Yeah, they're playing huge. Well, here's what happened. That was the backstory.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you the front story. The thing's about to start. Victor Blom can't be found. Our esteemed manager of our team pro is calling. Victor has 2 rooms in his name. They actually get security to open up the rooms. He's not there. They then get this. They try to find out who he's been gambling with. They find out he's been gambling with Durr.
Oh.
Durr has some sort of suite somewhere. I don't know if Bellagio are here. And they get Durr's suite. He's not there.
And Durr isn't there, is it, either? I
don't know if Durr was or not, but Victor isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can find Victor. The thing's going to start. He's playing Andrew Lichtenberger. I don't know. I assume they have an alternate, but at this point, it's pretty clear Victor's going to be a no-show. And then our esteemed leader gets a brilliant idea. He knows somehow some of Victor's Swedish friends.
Right.
And he knows some of the names of the people who happen to travel to Las Vegas. So he starts calling the Swedes. Makes the roll of the Swedes. And basically, he almost went to Caesar's Palace and said, "Give me every Swedish last name. I want to get in the room." So he strikes. He hits the Swedish poker player's name. He knew the guy was here somehow. Ask him how. just randomly calls the name of a guy who knows Victor. You know, I guess he's probably going to ask him, "Do you know where Victor is?"
Yeah.
But he says, "Can you get a hold of Victor?" And the answer is, "Yeah, Victor's here sleeping." We knew he played till 10 in the morning.
Okay.
And the thing started at 2.
All right.
Okay. And that was the last information we had. It's like, you know, they say, who was the last one to see Victor Blom? So it was 10 in the morning gambling. Anyway, so we knew that much. Anyway, so he was in this guy's room.
Was that at the Caesars?
Yeah, at Caesars.
Yeah.
And they got Victor, and we were delayed about 20 minutes. They got, as a matter of fact, they didn't even, I think he told me, they didn't even get an answer on that guy. What they did, the thing he was using, he was telling the security that, like, this is his client, and it's a very serious, like, I didn't think he told security life-threatening, but he made it look like it's a crucial thing for his client that he gets a hold of him, because, you know, security's not always going to open the room.
Yeah.
But so on that, move on security, and all this stuff, you know, they couldn't get a hold of him. And that was working. You got to realize, the call time before the show was an hour.
Yeah. So
this had gone on for an hour trying to find Victor, so it took over an hour, you know, an hour and 20 minutes to finally locate him. So after that, they did get him done.
Oh my God!
And I bet Victor, and they actually had the longest match.
Oh, that's pretty sick. But everyone had to wait for him to come down then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, man. It's what a guy. I mean, did he say something?
You said this is going to be on Svenska Spiel?
Yeah.
Okay. Victor, in case you read it, because sorry, people might say it on the Swede. I'm sorry if I said what I shouldn't have said. You know, we all like you. You beat us to things of you know, an 18-year-old, and now you're what, 21?
Yeah, something like that. 22 maybe. Now he's going to probably be on. Well, I don't think Victor mind. I mean, did he look embarrassed, or did he apologize, or did he just show up?
I was playing my own match. Usually when Victor's, I don't know if he saw me because I didn't see him face to face. You know, normally we see each other, we say hi or whatever, give a high five or knuckle or whatever we do. We didn't say anything. I didn't notice him talking. I think he was still a little groggy.
Yeah.
And I don't think I saw him smile. He was kind of at a table near me. He just played and he got ahead and he won.
Yeah, because despite the amount of money he has been playing for and the style he can use in the chat, he used to use anyway, he's so far away from an arrogant person, isn't he?
Yeah, no, yeah, I've never seen anything at all mean-spirited, arrogant, or, you know, anything like that out of him, you know. You know, he's a respectful kid. You know, I'm sure his parents raised him well until he took off, just lived in their basement and in front of a computer, and he never saw their face anymore. But you know, so the early years, I think he was brought up right.
Yeah. It's sort of a funny story that keep all this all the cameras and all these celebrities and all these big players waiting for him, you know.
Well, he's one of the big players, obviously, as far as money he plays for, and I mean, let's face it, a lot more people want to see Victor Blom play in this than they want to see Barry Greenstein playing it. Actually, that reminds me of a funny story. That I didn't have anyone to tell because I haven't been talking to you and I haven't been doing any interviews lately. But I let a lot of bills lapse. I was traveling along and it cost me big time. That I don't pay my own bills; other people pay them. Yeah. And lots of things happened. Okay, that got me messed up.
Okay.
But I don't want to go into that. But one of the things that happened is my website went down.
Okay.
And I didn't know, but somebody tweeted your website's down. And I didn't even look at it because I was busy. But then I was in the Bahamas, and some representative for PokerStars came up and said, whoever this was is kind of new to PokerStars. I said, no, I have a website with lots of stuff on it, right? And she said, we're trying to bid on BarryGreenstein.com. And I said, and then it dawned on me, someone had tweeted me that my site was down. I didn't even look. And she said, but we're bidding against someone, and we came to thinking that maybe we're bidding against you. And I said, no, I forgot all about that because I have family stuff going on. And I said, I forgot all about looking into that. And no, it isn't me. I should have been looking into it, but I forgot, you know. And they said, okay, well, we're bidding against someone, and we don't know how high it's going to go. and um, so we'll try to get it and for you or whatever. And I said, okay. Now what I did is I thought the site was with GoDaddy because that's what Poker Road is with.
Yeah.
I searched through people who are doing all this stuff. I keep asking, like people who don't work for Poker Road anymore. Are you the one who pays the bills? Who pays to find out where the bills are? That didn't get. Finally, I find out from my son Joe that it was Network Solutions that had the domain name, and he claims he sent me an email that they sent him a bill.
Okay.
For the thing, and whatever. I never saw it, so now I find out. I get a hold of Network Solutions. That's one of those domain sites. They say, yeah, your site has lapsed, and someone's bought it.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sick about that. And I talked to them, and they said, well, who bought it? And they tell me the name. It's a company that's what they do. They buy them, they sell them, And I said, well, so what do I do now? I said, is there any way I can get it? Like, isn't there a poaching law? Like, they can't take my... They said, yeah, but you'll have to go to court, and they always know you'll settle for less than you'll have to pay a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what do you think it'll cost? They said, well, it's probably going to cost you $5,000 or $10,000. And the guy I was talking to happened to be a poker player. He says, I bet it's going to be $5,000 or $10,000, but it might cost you $15,000 to go to court. He said, so you may have to pay their price. That might be the best thing for you to do. And I said, well, can you tell me who? And he told me who, and I emailed he even gave me the email address of the person. And I said, do you know how much they bought it for? And he says, no, we don't get that information. He said, but you can probably find out by calling PokerStars, because if that's who they were bidding. I said, would they be, you mean there's only 2 people bidding? He says, no, you can't tell how many people are bidding.
No.
But maybe you can tell how high PokerStars bid, and then you'll know how high they bid, right? So I said, okay. So I'm thinking, I don't want to spend $10,000 on this thing, but, whatever. So then I get a good idea. Excuse me, I call PokerStars. And I tell them, what are we going to do here? I lost my website. I know they want me to have a website because PokerStars is on that too.
Yeah.
And then John Caldwell, I talked to, he's like, manages Team Pro, and he says, well, you never know. Maybe we did buy it because we hire an outside company to get the domain names for all our pros. We've had to do this before.
Yeah.
So I said, you may be in luck, and maybe the company that bought it, even though it's some random name like this, it may be us.
Yeah.
But he was just heading out of the PCA, and he says, I don't know. And then I was thinking, when Phil Ivey, in the early days, Phil Ivey was really upset. Someone bought PhilIvey.com.
Yeah.
Before he was even with Full Tilt.
Yeah.
Then when Full Tilt opened, he couldn't get it. And like the guy wanted to charge him like $100,000.
Yeah.
And as a start negotiation. And Phil's saying, I'll give you $5,000, that's it.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. And the guy said, no way. And Phil said, then screw you. I'm going to take you to court. Because I think by then the Full Tilt and all this. And Phil said the guy's never. And then eventually the guy came down his offer. Phil wouldn't pay it. Because that's the way Phil is.
Yeah, I know.
He said the guy wouldn't be reasonable. I'm not giving him a penny.
Mm.
Eventually, they have these poaching laws. Now, Full Tilt took the guy to court, and Phil didn't want to give the guy any money. I don't know exactly what happened, but he got PhilIvey.com. Here's Phil Ivey. So I remember that story. But I'm thinking, well, Phil Ivey, the guy wanted $100,000. Maybe it got down to 50, or I don't know what the guy was going to negotiate down to.
Yeah.
So I think, BarryGreenstein.com. Where do I rank? I'm saying I'm hoping 5,000 is all they're going to hit me up for.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable or not?
I mean, it's so hard to say. I mean, it depends on what he paid for it, how much the bidding went up to. I guess he wants to double that money or something like that, But if you say, it's hard to say. I mean, maybe 10,000 would be a proper price.
Okay, your guess is 10,000. My guess is 5. Anyone out there, make your guess. This is a quiz. Anyway, the good news, a couple days later, I got an email from someone at PokerStars. They had bought the site.
Oh, how much did they pay for it?
Well, I mean, I can tell you that. First, the whole story. And they said, you want to buy it from us and run it yourself. Again, the girl didn't know that I do have all the content.
Yeah.
I just lost the domain. So I said, no. They said they can put up a site for me and make a Barry Greenstein site of their own with PokerStars all over, or I can do it myself. So I said, no, I want to do it myself. I'll just pay you guys. And so now the question, what did they pay for BarryGreenstein.com? This is how far the mighty have fallen. $130. So now, now you know what I'm worth.
How did that feel? I mean, it's different days, Barry. It's so different from what it was like a few years ago.
Okay. So.
I think the price has gone down so much because you haven't done enough interviews with me.
That's probably it. I see poker stars doesn't want me to let them know that's how much I make these days because they're got a good marketing team and they're putting me out like I'm something special.
Yeah. All right.
But whatever. That's it. $130.
That's fine. So you're back with running it now, right?
And as a matter of fact, it's even worse than that. Not only was it $130, but John Caldwell told me that he tried to buy JohnCaldwell.com and the guy wanted $1,000.
He had to say that, didn't he?
Right.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
Why don't you see if anyone's got RicardAberg.com or do you own it?
I checked on it actually a while ago, but I don't own it. No.
Okay, we'll see what they're asking. See if it's more than $130.
Yeah, I'll try to pick it up. They say, oh well, how about $100? I said, no, I give you 140.
So you're worth more than me.
Yeah, that's the only way. All right. Okay, so it's been. What are your plans now? Because you went to the PCA and now you're playing the NBC. You're going to win that, obviously.
Yeah.
What are your plans further down the road?
Yeah, well, after this, I'm going to go back to the Commerce because the big month where I live is February.
Yeah.
That's where the Commerce tournament is, and that's a good shot to win money at cash games. You know, I mean, sometimes you can start out with almost nothing. You know, 2 years ago, I'm playing a small game, in 3 days I win $400,000. So you know, big things can happen there. Even playing like 4 and 800 or smaller than that. You know, a lot of times I'm playing 2 and 400. So, but you get a lot of players there, and the cash games are good. You know, I won't play many events. Actually, the funny thing is, I played one event. I couldn't get into a cash game. I got tired of waiting, and they had their first event. They have like 8 starting days, and a guarantee of like, I don't know, 500. It's 250,000, but it's always over 500,000. And Mimi kept saying, "How can you not play this?" I said, "It's a $235 tournament. I never played $235 tournament." She says, "Yeah, but you know, first place is 100-some thousand." So it was the last time you could enter, and so I entered like a few hours late. The last thing, doubled up right away and whatever. Got to where I had good chips, and eventually I didn't min cash, but I cashed for $450.
Congratulations.
Still rumors up there that I played a 235 tournament, and I had like thousands of people because you get all these multiple days. So I don't even know if it's going to say like I cashed in like 168th or so. I don't know what it's going to say. It's going to look pretty peculiar. It's going to be pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like you check in on the Hendon Mob or something. You see the scores, like the numbers, and then out there it's like 3 numbers. Well,
so my usual cash is if I'm in cash normally is going to be 20,000
yeah.
for the event I play. You know, I sometimes will play the couple $1,000 events. I'll play the Chinese event here. They actually are trying to get an open face, which are like $1,500 events. So I probably will pay those. But so I do play some events that are 1,000 a little higher, of course, and at the World Series too.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the only $450 cash I think I'm ever going to have.
Yeah. But that's nice. I mean, cash is cash. It's better
Right.
than to lose the money.
I made a profit. You can't go wrong make a profit.
No, but you're gonna continue and are you coming to Europe? Anything you think?
Well, I know that I always go to the what's it called? EPT London.
EPC London, yeah.
And I was told there are 2 EPT Londons this year. I didn't look at the schedule. That's what they told me. And I went to one, whatever, sometime last year. I lose track of the months.
Yeah, usually they have it in October after the World Series of Poker Europe, and
I think one in the first half of the year.
Yeah, now it's going to be pretty soon.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to go to that because I promised my girlfriend, because of all the headaches I've given her recently, that I actually spend time with her in London.
Oh, that would be nice. I know you enjoy London.
Yeah, I do, but I haven't taken her to the Palace except on the red bus going by it, and I've seen the Crown Jewels myself, you know, a long time ago, but I didn't take her there to see that. I mean, I've taken her, I think, to the Tower of London, but most of the things I've taken her, we've probably been in London, like, I've been there like 5 times with her.
Yeah.
And the most I've done is ride on the tourist bus because I was busy.
You've seen Leicester Square.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Yeah. So we've seen Leicester Square, seen all the stuff. We've walked around, you know, some of these places. Yeah, Leicester Square, of course, and where the Poker Stars tournament is held.
Yeah.
The Metropole.
Yeah, that's right.
I promised her this time I will go to something with her. You know,
Are you
she
gonna
probably
you gonna book like a flight there a couple of days beforehand, or stay a few days after or something?
probably what's going to happen is she'll just be mad at me by the time it comes for us to do something, and then she'll say, "Forget it, I don't want to go with you," and then we won't do anything, and then she'll blame me for the next year. That happens, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But yeah, if we can come early and get down, that's a good idea.
yeah.
Come days early.
I
She
think
probably
so.
she likes things like Stonehenge or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She'd want to do that, so I don't know. Whatever. She's real. I'm like the worst tourist in the world because I don't. To me, anywhere I've gone, most of my life has been a poker table
Yeah,
that to put somewhere in a different country.
yeah.
But she's one of these tourists. When I first, now she's a little jaded, but when she first started going on, when we first were going out, she said, I asked her, "What do you want to do with your life?" And she said, "I'd like to travel the world." Well, you know, so the first few times we did that, she gets all these tourist books and marks of all the places, has like tabs in the book and all that, and she knows all the things to see and the restaurants to go to and the hotels to stay at, but not anymore because now she's a little jaded. But maybe she'll get back to like having she's got, I'm sure, a London book anyway
Yeah.
from what they're before. But maybe I'll tell her to pick out some spots and I'll.
It's worth it, Barry. You know, you should try to get that time.
You know, the truth is, you know, I'm probably not a very good partner, but I do like spending time with her. You know, so I mean, I love my girlfriend. I love spending time with her.
Yeah.
That's the good. So it's not like some guys don't even want to spend time with their partners.
No.
I do enjoy my partner, enjoy spending time with her. So that's cool. But sometimes going to these places, you know, it's like, you know, hopefully there will be something interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a movie on Stonehenge on the internet. You know, maybe for other people they want to be there, but you know, I got my fill of Stonehenge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, I know. I actually been there. It's not. I mean, if you're a logical thinking person, it's not that big a deal. You know, it's sort of history. Some nice histories around there, but you know, you appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, two places I've been to live that I thought were spectacular, and I don't think you can appreciate them on the internet, is first the Grand Canyon,
Yeah,
which is spectacular, and the second is when they used to have the WPT at Niagara Falls.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty spectacular, and it's hard. You know, you can't go under the falls and have the water going over your head while you're on the internet. Well, you probably can. You'll probably have a virtual
Yeah, yeah,
thing where you.
maybe for you guys being American, I mean, I think if when you come to Europe, there's so much history and so much things that are from times before the states got established in any way. You know, stuff from the 12th century and so on.
Yeah, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah,
See, but not as neat as Alex does. She's a history buff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she likes like Victorian and all that. She's like, you know, like 1700s, 1800s. The authors she reads are from the 1800s.
Yeah,
So that's like her time period. So that's why Europe is perfect for her.
yeah. You should take care of that, Barry. What kind of headaches have you given her lately? Is that nothing you can tell?
Stuff with our house that I can't even tell. Personal stuff. I mean, not like our relationship stuff.
No.
My kids, you know, remember she helped me raise my kids, but when they do the crazy things they do, they're my kids, not our kids, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, just lots of things.
Yeah, yeah. But you've been together for quite a few years now, right?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny. I'm 58 years old. My first girlfriend was just for a certain number of months in college. And then I had a girlfriend while I was at college from 18 to 28. And when she got out of graduate school, and that's pretty much when I was done, finished up my stuff, that's when we broke up. We were together, you know, on and off for 10 years. Then I was married. When I was with my wife from like 29 to 38 years. And then we got divorced at 38.
Yeah.
And then at 30, you know, then after that, I met Mimi after that. She wasn't totally my girlfriend, but pretty much we were together for like the next 10 years.
Okay.
Until I was 48.
Oh, that's pretty silly.
48, so 58. And so I've had my 4 10-year, you know, some people have 1 40-year relationship, some people don't have relationships that last very long, but mine go for 10 years. It's all right. You know, you know, she, I'm done with you or whatever. But that's seriously.
Yes.
I told her. She says it's time for you to get a new girlfriend anyway. And I say, this is it. Girlfriends, this is my last one.
You really think so? You
And,
happy with her?
Oh yeah, I mean, she's going to have to break. I'm not saying we'll stay together, but it won't be me breaking up. That's for sure.
Then.
Her.
Nah, I don't think Alice's gonna break up with you.
She's done too much.
Yeah. Maybe if you take her to Europe two or three more times and you won't show her anything, you might be in trouble.
You have to realize there's one thing that no one can replace that she's done. She helped me raise my kids.
Hmm.
So there's nothing more anyone could do for you than that. Hmm. And so, like I said, there's just not no one I could ever choose. I don't care who it is. I'd never choose anyone over her. And so, yeah, no, I'm not really her, that's for sure.
Nice. Barry, when are you going to play the second round in the NBC Heads-Up?
It's tomorrow sometime, and I'm assuming that since I was in the first bracket today, I'll be in the first bracket tomorrow, but I don't know for sure. I assume Maury will give me a text and tell me what to call. The way they usually do it, because sometimes they run late tonight, so the crew can't come in until a certain time tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way at the end of the day, I'll get a text from Maury.
Yeah, they need this and that many hours to rest. Otherwise, they're not allowed to work again, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be one match every day, or is it going to be 2 matches tomorrow?
No, that's just they have so many. They have 4 brackets.
Yeah.
So it's all day the first day.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow they'll get down from 32 to 4. They'll play 2 matches.
Okay.
And then they 3.
That sounds like 3 matches, right?
Maybe 3. Maybe they play 3 tomorrow. I thought it was 2 and maybe 3 the last. Maybe they get down to 8.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I've never. I've only gotten to the 32, I think.
Okay.
No, I've gotten to the 16.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've gotten to the round of 8. So, I don't know what happens after that.
All right. I mean, we're going to keep an eye on you and see how it goes tomorrow. What would you say your percentage chance would be against John? Again, how big a chance would you give yourself?
Good player. It's pretty close to even money.
Yeah.
If anyone could lay you $1.30,
yeah,
and you can take me or you can take him, take it.
Yeah.
Okay. None of us are that big a favorite with the other guy for sure. And real close to even money.
Okay. Barry, it was nice talking to you again, and hopefully we can do this soon again.
Okay, Rickard, get some sleep. I know it's pretty late where you are.
Yeah, it is. And say hello to lovely Alex, okay?
I will. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, say hello to, what's...
Osa.
What was... Oh, see, I can't remember. I know ASA. I know it's spelled.
Yeah.
Osa.
Yeah.
Forget how it's pronounced. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Okay.